seen two teams emerge from the dressing rooms where they are now on the halfway line, more accustomed to seeing the players come out of the clubhouse at Leeds. Well, a new £1 million setup, changing rooms now. And for the first time in the club's history, John Pendlebury of Bradford Northern, accompanied by those two mascots. Bradford known as the Steam Pigs for some unaccountable reason, and have a couple of Steam Pigs as mascot there. So Bradford Northern coming out from the new £1 million complex of the changing rooms. And Rochdale Hornets, a really big day for Rochdale Hornets, Ali.
Yes, and Rochdale obviously will find this ground intimidating in a lot of ways, Ray. They're not used to getting to finals in the last few years, but they're going to rather enjoy this game because they've got to put everything in today, and if everything goes right for them, it could be another fairy story.
Yes, one or two of these lads have probably never played on Headingley before, but a cup run like this does so much for confidence. They are bottom of the league, but as Bob Wilson said, ironically, they did beat Bradford Northern in that only league win by 19 points to 12, so they certainly have the pedigree. Problems overnight with losing their Kiwi loose forward, Mark Nixon, suspended, but Mark Villa, the number 13, I'm sure will do a fine first-class job. Skippers there, John Pendlebury for Northern, our left. Whitfield on the right, a very experienced player, Colin Whitfield, his 5th semi-final with his 4th club. He's seen all this before, and of course John Pendlebury has with Wigan. These two lads will have to steady a few players, I think, who have never reached this stage before. And Colin Whitfield there wearing the scrum cap, not playing in the forwards, of course. He's at full back, but has suffered concussion in the past, and taking advantage of the new Australian style scrum cap. Referee Jim Smith from Halifax, very strict, keen disciplinarian, just about to get this first semi-final of the Regal Trophy underway. So, Rochdale Hornets, for the first time for many years on our screens, playing from left to right in Rochdale's traditional colours of blue and the red and white hoop, to Bradford Northern. Youngster Moxon had a good game at Wigan, brought in for the injured Ian Wilkinson. I think, as we said, Alec, the test for this Rochdale Hornets will be, can the pack hold up to this big, strong Bradford 6?
I think Alan Egger will be expecting Rochdale to compete. It is a semi-final, and as David Hobbs said in the interview, anything can happen in semi-finals. It'll be interesting to see for the first 5 or 10 minutes whether they're good enough and big enough to hold the Bradford pack.
So, Northern in possession. Hobbs using the kick. Well taken there by Brian Garrity. Signing £20,000 bargain buy from Runcorn. Tony Humphreys. Most of these players from Rochdale picked up in the 20 to 40, £50,000 bracket. Good run here, good run by Neil Cowie. Good pass too to Martin Hall. And certainly, Alec, the Rochdale Hornets supporters getting behind the team. Yes,
obviously Rochdale's brought a few supporters with them, and they'll want to take Bradford on. They can't afford to sit back and let the Bradford bring the game to them. They'll have to attack Bradford.
Problems between John Blackburn there and David Hobbs. And Whitfield. Moxon judging the ball well, judging the bounce. To Shelford. Good centre, this lad from the Bay of Plenty in New Zealand. To Medley. Well, loses the ball, but it's a knock-on. Brian Noble, number 9 there. Noble, the former Great Britain skipper, hooker on the 1984 tour. But it was a knock-on. First scrum of the game. Galbraith, that's a good scrum. But a penalty. Referee Jim Smith, yes, a judging that John Pendlebury, the loose forward, broke from the scrum and came round. You can't do that. The loose forward must stay down at the base of the scrum. So Rochdale, first attack of the match. Rochdale's last semi-final appearance 17 years ago when they reached this Regal Trophy final, eventually losing to next week's semi-finalist Warrington. Good ball from Grogan, but missed.
And I think you can see that Bob Grogan's going to be the man who's going to obviously start all the moves as far as Rochdale are concerned. He's not got a lot of pace, but he's got a tremendous pair of hands.
Rochdale tackling well, but Bradford Northern using this pack, keeping it close in the middle. Similar tactics employed in that shock win at Central Park, Wigan last week. Hobbs. No. And again, David Hobbs was guilty of a little bit of that last week, Alex, kicking out on the full, wasn't he?
Yes, I think David's got the problem at the moment of, you know, taking his eye off the ball, and he's watching the man before he kicks the ball. He's normally a very, very good kicker.
I think there's a little misjudgment. Oh, just look at the push in that scrum, but Rochdale get the ball. Good tackle by Shelford. Abram. Just signed from Trafford Borough. Well, this Rochdale pack losing the ball. That's twice now they've had possession, twice they've lost it. Noble. Itty. To John Hamer. Good drive. One of the biggest packs in the league is this Bradford 6. Itty again. And Brett Itty, the leg heavily strapped, trying to go through the run-around move before he had the ball. Got a slight hamstring injury, this lad from Auckland. So, Galbraith, again, another scrum half from Auckland, both of them. Big close competition, good run there by Galbraith. Should be a good battle between these two lads. They know each other well. Certainly Rochdale haven't opened up as bottom of the first division, are they?
No, obviously Rochdale are going to be very confident in this game, but you've got to say the way Bradford are playing this game, it's going to be a side with the big forwards, Bradford Northern, and really Rochdale playing the football.
Well, we'll see. Rochdale then. Tony Humphreys. Good experience with Warrington as a prop forward. Humphreys, number 12. Whitfield again. That's a better kick. That's a good one. It's a tester on Moxon. Oh, he's up to it. Good lad. Tony Marchant coming in off the wing. Furbank looking to offload it. He does. That's a good ball. That's a better pass to Roger Simpson. Now then, he's got pace, but a good tackle. Superb cover tackle there from Mark Villa. But the first threat from Bradford Northern. Summers. Oh, that was badly taken. Knock on. One or two of these lads snatching at the ball, Alec.
Well, I think one or two of the lads are not really keeping their eye on the ball. There've been a couple of wild passes, and really Bradford, obviously you can see how they're going to play this game. They're going to play it down the middle and then move it up quickly to man in support.
Could be nerves. So, Galbraith to put the ball in, and that's a tremendous push. Well, little Galbraith comes out of it. And Whitfield, good rugby, sensible play from the skipper. We understand that he's got a damaged wrist, but good play from the Rochdale Hornets captain. And Hornets taking the game now to Bradford. Grogan. Mike O'Neill, another very experienced player with Widnes. Been here many times before. Galbraith. That's a good kick. It's hanging in the wind. Good catch. Very good catch by Tony Marchant. That was well taken under pressure, Alec.
Yes, that's very well taken by Tony Marchant, a very experienced player, and interesting the tactics of both sides. Rochdale playing the high ball and hoping they're going to get some rebounds from there.
Paul Medley, no stranger to this Headingley pitch, a former Leeds player. Shelford. Not the biggest of lads, but certainly a long stride, Alec. He seems to be able to ghost through.
Yes, he looks as though he's got a lot of pace as well. And here we have David Hobbs again playing the long ball. It's not the best of kicks and fielded well by Colin Whitfield.
Well, one or two of the crowd felt that was a high tackle, but not so referee Jim Smith. And Brian Garrity coming in midfield, helping his pack out. Good ball. And good run from Darren Abram. Had a good season last season at the new club at Trafford Borough in Manchester. Grogan again. Humphreys. Oh, that's a good slip. Well, referee Mr. Smith, I think, had blown his whistle there, but there certainly was an advantage to Bradford.
Well, I think what John Smith's saying is that it was an accidental offside. There's nothing you can do about this. I think he'd blown his whistle and the ball was just put on the floor. It comes off a Rochdale player, but obviously he's played advantage.
And it's Rochdale ball from the scrum. Rochdale made their way to the semi-final with defeats over Saddleworth, the amateurs from just outside Oldham, Doncaster, and then that shock result of the third round at Weldon Road against Castleford. And Bradford Northern beat Workington, Bramley, and as we saw on Grandstand last week, Wigan. Galbraith to Grogan. These two half-backs already, Stuart Galbraith and Bob Grogan, effective. Whitfield. Well taken by Moxon. Hobbs. Roger Simpson. Good defences at the moment, Alec. No one really made a break as yet.
No, and there's obviously the pattern of the game where Bradford are just going to play the game amongst the forwards, but they've got some good backs as well. And here's one of the forwards who they're going to rely a lot on is Paul Medley.
Actually running a little bit too near the ruck, I think, for my mind. I think he's better when he's further out wide, but that's a good kick. And Colin Whitfield once again allowing the ball to roll into touch because, of course, the defending side there have the head and ball at the scrum. Sensible play by Whitfield, Ali, but I really do think there's something wrong with the law when it allows a full-back to do that.
Well, a lot of people are saying now that a tactical kick, really should get the head and field, and there'll be some discussion at the next coaches' meeting, I can assure you.
And Jim Smith signalling that the Bradford Northern pack were not scrummaging correctly. Great difference in these two sides. Rochdale just with the one league win to their credit this season, and Bradford Northern currently in third place in the First Division. Grogan again. Good ball to Whitfield. A better ball. certainly Bob Grogan's moving this ball out well, Alec.
Yes, he's going to be the ball player and the playmaker. It's just a question now whether Rochdale's got the pace.
And here is one lad with pace, number 10, John Blackburn. And again it was that number 6, Bob Grogan, who sent him through. Rochdale then on the attack. Hall. Good kick. So, now then, referee Jim Smith not happy again. Rochdale already winning these scrums comfortably. So, Bradford wanting possession. They get it. Betiti coming away from the scrum. That thigh heavily strapped. Slight hamstring trouble. Rochdale doing a very good containing job, Alec, holding them down here.
Yes, and I think what's going to happen, obviously you can see Bradford are going to play it in the forwards and hoping to break the tackle and men in support and really take it from there. But Rochdale are putting a lot of pressure on Bradford, and at this moment they're losing all the ball.
This will suit Rochdale. Let lads get over these nerves. To Grogan again. That's a good ball to Abram. Powerful young centre. Back to Grogan, always at the first receiver. And Whitfield coming in, that's good play. He's got the wingman outside him, Garrity. He's going for that line. Oh, good tackle. Excellent tackle there by young Darren Moxon. Garrity had some space, he saw the line, but Moxon took him superbly.
Well, this is a lovely move by Rochdale here. It's a beautiful move, a lovely ball from Whitfield to Garrity. Now it looks as though Garrity was going to go in here, but watch young Moxon. Good try, saving tackle.
And a penalty, the sort of penalty that you can't give away. Referee Jim Smith there signifying that Rochdale had collapsed the scrum. So Neil Summers to put to touch. And Bradford, Alec, really got to get the game together, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They might be a little bit complacent, Bradford. They're very, very strong favourites to win this game. And when you take things for granted in the semi-final, it can go frightfully wrong.
Yes, I don't think many felt that after 15 minutes in this first half, the score would still be Rochdale 0, Bradford 0. But all credit to these men from the Hornets. Pendlebury looking for support. And as we see there, the second rows missing. Carl Fairbank, Paul Medley should be running off there. Summers. And already significant that players like this man here, Standoff, Neil Summers for Bradford, having to kick. In fact, the only way Bradford have moved forward, Alec, is by Hobbs and Summers kicking.
Yes, I'm very surprised that they've not used young Summers more. He's got a lot of pace, and surely that Bradford, who were losing the ball time and time again, are not playing to him.
Well, Mr. Smith, I think he was unsighted. I think he wants that scrum again. The ball certainly shot out to Galbraith and he couldn't take it. That's 7 scrums to 1 now for Rochdale. No lack of possession. Whitfield. Mark Villa, number 13. Good tackling there from Bradford Northern, John Pendlebury and Carl Fairbank. Defence is well on top, both sides having to kick. Tony Marchant, a little slow. And offside. In fact, Alec, the first offside decision in the match.
Yes, I think both sides then a little bit sluggish getting back Rochdale, and but Bradford Northern are really not getting their act together. They're losing the ball quite a lot, and instead of moving the ball out wide, they're trying to play it down the middle, and I think they'd be much advised if they just moved it wider.
So Northern now, for the first time in possession now, in this Rochdale Hornets half. Had to rely on the kicks of Hobbs and Summers to get here in the past. What can they do now? Itty. Pendlebury looks to switch it. He does do. Good run by Carl Fairbank. Look for the support. It's not there. The one-handed pass was waiting. Itty again. The short ball to Itty. Good play. Superb understanding there between Hobbs and Itty. Bradford, first real attack. Summers. Moxon. Good switch. Still going. David Hobbs. Well, is he offside? It doesn't matter. I had a feeling there that Tony Marchant, the Bradford Northern wing, was offside from that Hobbs kick, but it didn't matter. Whitfield managed to slip the ball back.
Yes, it looked as though he was offside to me, this little kick here, but Tony Marchant, you always play it to the whistle. He followed the ball, and like I said, Jim Smith said nothing, and he played on.
So, a drop out beneath the post. Whitfield putting the ball dead. And Colin Whitfield will be looking for a long kick. He does find one. But it's Northern and Moxon back on the attack. First real sustained pressure now on Rochdale Hornets. Hamer. Good run again. One or two of these big forwards now beginning to find a half break. Testing out this Hornets defence. Itty looks for the gap. No. Well, managed to get the ball away. Simpson picked it up.
Yes, and he was a little bit lucky there, young Itty, but Bradford look as though they're getting the game together now. They're supporting the ball better, and they're playing the 6 tackles.
Pendlebury. Oh, beautiful pass. Oh, he's knocked it on. A superb movement between the forwards. Paul Medley rightly agreed with himself. Pendlebury and Hobbs worked it to perfection.
Well, David Hobbs will absolutely be furious about this move. This was a beautiful move, and this should have been 6 points. No problem about it. Young Paul Medley cannot believe his luck. And again, David Hobbs, this is a beautiful move. Lovely ball back inside. Look at the ball to Paul Medley. He can't believe he missed that.
I think he was so excited, Alec, that he could see the line, couldn't he?
Well, again, it was one of them moves where he took his eye off the ball.
And here's Colin Whitfield now. Good run, good counter-attack by Rochdale. And suddenly, the gap's beginning to come now in these two teams. 20 minutes gone. Just that one near miss. Rochdale 0, Bradford 0. Villa. Good run from Villa. Now then. He's still going, this lad. He looks more like a prop forward than a loose forward, but when he gets the break. Grogan again. Good long ball to Mark Lord. That's a better ball. Phil Fox, the kick. The chase with Cordell. It's a chance. No, Cordell's there. Good run by Phil Fox, very experienced wingman, seasoned campaigner at Liam Wakefield Trinity. He was almost in there.
Yeah, good move by young Phil Fox. This, I had him at Lee when I was there last time, and this is a good kick and chase. Always keeps in the game and always keeps looking at the ball.
Just Gerald Cordell's left arm getting there. So, once again, a dropout, this time from Bradford Northern's Hobbs. Well picked up by Villa. Having a good game, this loose forward, Alec.
Yes, I think Mark Villa is he's not normally a number 13. He's a second row, the front rower, but he's playing well at the 13 spot.
And number 11, Mike O'Neill. Good charging run there by John Blackburn. 10 yards from this Bradford Northern line. Oh, good chance for Hall. Well taken. Galbraith. Grogan again. Good tackle by Moxon, getting through some work, this this young Bradford Northern full-back, Darren Moxon. Whitfield, chance of a drop? No. Really rather hurried, rather rushed, but well worth it from Colin Whitfield. Both sides, I think, looking for an early point. Marchant. Good run. Hobbs again, playing the blind side, playing it well too. David Hobbs trying to bring the Rochdale Hornets pack across here, open up some more gaps further out wide when it swings now from left to right. This is what he's doing. Summers. Nobody shirking the tackles, Alec.
No, I think both sides are playing really hard. The problem is, I think, at the moment is that there's not many gaps about, and finding it very difficult to create space.
That's a good kick and chase, but well covered. Well read by Colin Whitfield. Looks as if we might need a shade of luck for either side to grab a try. Blackburn. This Rochdale pack sticking at it here. The tried and trusty boot of Colin Whitfield, but good catching again by Moxon. Itty. Nowhere to go. Medley, one of the fastest forwards in rugby league, prolific try scorer. That was a high tackle, yes, against Mike O'Neill. First chance, I think, at some points. High tackle.
Well, I think Mike O'Neill here, he just set himself up here and just got it a little bit high. I don't think that's as bad as what it looked, actually.
I certainly don't think it was intended, Alec.
Well, I think the two big men, and as he came through, I think you'll find out that he was going for the shoulders and the ball.
So, the first chance of a goal. David Hobbs to kick. 33 yards out and straight in front of the post. Kicking to where all the Northern supporters are. "34 goals this season. One of the few player coaches in rugby league. Ray Ashton at Workington in the second division, and here David Hobbs at Bradford Northern. Looks a good shot. It is. So at last, some points on the board, and it's the player coach Hobbs himself who gets them. 2 points to 0 now for Bradford Northern. There are gaps beginning to come, Alec, but at the moment there's no one really got the confidence to go through them.
Well, I don't think they've actually got the pace to go through them. I think both sides are making and creating gaps, but there's nobody quick enough to go through them. Bradford are playing the type of football they play best, supporting the man with the ball, and Rochdale are catching Bradford out by quick play the balls.
Whitfield. Tony Marchant. Marchant sensibly coming inside, keeping away from the touchlines, wants to use these 6 tackles. Good run there by Brian Noble. Cal Fairbank beginning to come more into the game now. Number 12 and this number 11, Paul Medley. These are the ones who can do the damage. Tremendous burst here from Medley. Now then, it's Medley, Shelford, Whitfield. It's a chase, but I think the ball will beat them all. It does. But there was one lad who can run, Paul Medley. I said racing on the outside at his best.
Well, this is a good break by Paul Medley. He's a very, very strong player when he gets in open field. He can see many support here. Shelford now watch the chase for the ball. Whitfield has to turn round, and he's no slouch. Shelford's just behind him, and I think the ball just beat all three.
Rochdale will want to consolidate this now. They'll just want to hold this ball. Well, he doesn't. Little Galbraith. Well done, well read by Moxon. Simpson. Hobbs again to Pendlebury. Just couldn't get the ball away. Brettiti, number 7, overrunning him, but a good footballer. This number 13, John Pendlebury. Noble. Fairbank, Hobbs, good driving run, can't get it away. Well, that should be play on. To Moxon. Good ball to Neil Summers. Now then, this lad has some pace. Good tackle. Superb tackle by Stuart Galbraith. And the referee signalling 5 more tackles. Northern, good run. Bradford Northern now beginning to mount the pressure, the power. Pendlebury, they've got an overlap on this outside. To Medley. Shelford gets the ball. Oh, Caudle can't take it. It was a bad pass. Poor Gerald Caudle had to reach down, couldn't get there. Another chance gone.
And I think you've got to put this down as a chance missed by Bradford. A beautiful ball moved out wide here, and this is a bad pass from young Darren Shelford to Gerald Caudle. Just put it down and a bit too low.
So 30 minutes gone, still just that David Hobbs penalty goal, proving the difference between these two sides. Bradford Northern 2 and Rochdale 0. And it's surprising, Alec, when you think how many scrums Rochdale Hornets have won.
Well, obviously, the Ruckers, you know, he's doing very, very well. You've got to realise that they've had most of the feed, and every time you feed the scrum in this game, 9 times out of 10 you should get the ball.
Mr. Smith just keeping the 2 scrums apart. Good solid front row there for Rochdale. Cowie, Hall and Blackburn. And yes, they're wanting a substitute on. That's why the stoppage. Robert Hall just coming on for Phil Fox. Phil Fox took a knock there in that try-scoring effort. Whitfield playing a true captain's part, rallying these Hornets. And it's Northern with the ball. Oh, he's over! Yes! Well, not only did Carl Fairbank steal the ball, which you can do in a tackle, but he managed to prize his way out and stunned everybody by scoring the first try. 6 points to 0 then for Bradford Northern, thanks to that Great Britain forward there, Carl Fairbank.
Well, I think Rochdale will be very disappointed with this try. As he gets up here, Carl Fairbank, a strong lad, he's got his wits about him, pinches the ball and dives over the line. And again you see it here, Neil Cowie, who has the ball, the Rochdale number 8, forever alert, holds the ball up straight here, and he's still got to do it and just reaches over.
Yes, a snap opportunist try there from Carl Fairbank, his 5th of the season, and really probably makes amends for the one that Bradford fluffed. So Hobbs with his 2nd conversion attempt. good. Straightforward kick, simple kick. 8 points to 0 now for Bradford Northern. And Bradford look to be getting very confident now, Alec.
Bradford forwards are getting on top, and they're getting more confidence. They're creating the gaps, and then they're supporting the man with the ball, and that's what they're very good at.
Itty. Hamer. Bradford. John Hamer there, being forced back by substitute Robert Hall.
Yes, and it'll be interesting now to see whether Rochdale can hold Bradford.
That's a good ball to Summers. Perhaps a little bit too early. Gerald Cordell, he's got Villa on the outside. He's a quick lad. Oh, good run by Cordell. But a good tackle by Colin Whitfield. And suddenly Bradford now moving this ball out to the wings. And a penalty. Well, Alec, I must confess I was a little bit, well, mystified by that. Mr. Smith judging there that Gerald Cordell was stealing ground, that he was trying to steal 5 or 6 yards. And a penalty, and also a penalty for Backchat. And just as the penalty's taken, Neil Holding, substitute number 14 for Rochdale, coming on for Mark Villa. So, Hornets on the attack. Blackburn. No. One or two of the Rochdale Hornets forwards there, taking the ball, standing still. Itty, good scrum. Summers. Well, a surprising kick, Alec, from the first scrum, and not only surprising, but rather foolish one, straight out.
Well, I think young Neil Summers there, it must be a practice move, but that was the first tackle, and really that's not very, very good tactics. I think on the first tackle, surely he's got an entire three-quarter line outside him and decides to kick on the first one.
Obviously, I think a kick intended for Gerald Cordell, Alec. Rochdale, good run here now from Darren Abrams. Seemed to have an extra yard on this wing here with the Garrity and Abrams. This is where the chance has been coming. Number 14 there, Neil Holding. Whitfield. 5 minutes left in this first half. Needs to rally his troops. 8 points to 0 down. That's a good ball to Humphreys. Well taken. And yes, I think rightly so. Lying on by Brian Noble at the play of the ball. Referee Jim Smith signifying that Brian Noble holding Tony Humphreys down. Now, is this a chance for 2 points?
It is, and as you can see here, I think just holding down in the tackle here, and John Smith right on the spot here. Rochdale want to get up quickly and play the ball, but obviously with 2 forwards on top like that, Tony Humphreys has no chance of getting up.
And well worth an attempted goal, certainly with a kicker of Colin Whitfield's quality. Not had many opportunities this season with Rochdale being bottom of Division 1, just 21 goals, but kicked many goals in the past for Wigan, Halifax and Salford, his previous clubs. Not the most difficult of kicks, as Whitfield proves. 2 points then to Rochdale, 8 points to 2 then for Bradford Northern.
And I think, Ray, that was really a very important kick. It was a simple kick, but Rochdale Hornets needed some points on the board, and Bradford were just getting the noses in front and looked as though he was going to run away with the game.
Pendlebury. And Hornets now, Alec, really need, would you think, they've got to get down this Bradford half, really, to sort of rock them again before half-time.
Yes, they need to make the break, and they need somebody with pace to go through the break. I think Neil Holding, who they've brought on now, surely he's a man who's been playing in top-flight football and can make the break, and he could be the danger man.
And there he is. This is one man with pace, and here he is straight away. Oh, I thought he was going to kick. Many, many times in the past 10 seasons I've seen Neil Holding kick there. Well, he's got a penalty. Darren Moxon didn't like that. A penalty against Darren Moxon for going over the ball, for stopping Neil Holding playing. But I thought that he was going to kick and chase for that.
Well, he really did, but having said that, I thought Darren Moxon was a little bit unlucky. If you just watch what he does here, Neil Holding makes the break. He looks as though he's going to kick and then he slips. Now watch what happens when Darren Moxon, as he goes up to play the ball, Neil Holding, watch what Darren Moxon does. He tries to wheel the ball back with his foot. Neil Holding's legged him up. Now watch what Darren Moxon does. And I don't think that's illegal.
Well, it is, Alec, if you're lying on the floor. That was the problem. He wasn't standing up. But as an attempt to the left. So, a miss there by Colin Whitfield, and the score just approaching half-time, still 8 points to 2 for Bradford. But I think a let-off there, Alec. I think Neil Holding has kicked, what, many, many times in the past and scored tries from that, hasn't he?
Well, I think if he'd have kept his feet, I think there'd have been a try on, because he's very, very good in broken play, and obviously he created the gap and just couldn't keep his foot in.
So, 1 minute left in this first half. Hornets keeping play in the pack. Neil Cowie. Can play it to himself. Nobody was marking him. But again, well picked up by Brian Noble, doing a good scavenging job there around the rucks. Heyman. Hobbs. That's a good run. Good ball. Throwback again. Having a good game, this Great Britain lad. Can he get the ball away? No, he can't. But again, it puts Bradford Northern on the attack. Summers. Itty. That's a good ball. Bradford Northern using these 2 second rows. Throwback and Medley now sweeping in from the wings. Itty again to Pendlebury. And Pendlebury just electing to kick to touch.
And Bradford really then, I mean, that is, he kicked the ball into touch, and I think what he's saying, the touch judge, is that it's hit a Bradford player. I think that was a good decision by the touch judge. Obviously, if John Pendlebury had put the ball in, it would have been a Bradford ball, or Rochdale ball.
So, Shelford, seconds ticking away now in this first half. Bradford on the attack. John Pendlebury. Well, looking for somebody to be running off him there. Good ball play, good distributor, this loose forward. Hobbs. Medley. Gets it away, well taken by Caudrell. Got 1 or 2 people in his way. Northern will want to sweep this across. They do. That's good tackling, good covering. But a knock on. Good tackling there by Mike O'Neill and Cowie. Spotted the danger there. Throwback certainly finding the gaps in midfield. But again, and a penalty. Rochdale player coach, I think David Hobbs, obviously done some scrummage practice. But Mr. Smith, the judging that they pushed before the ball was in.
Well, I think what they're actually doing is walking before the scrum is settled. You've got to be settled before you can push in the scrum. And Bradford have been practicing. It's a tactic, but it's not working.
They are such a big pack, they quite often disconcert 1 or 2 sides. There it is. There is the hooter. A good, hard, workmanlike half. Just that 1 try from Carl Throwback and the 2 goals from David Hobbs. just the reply from Whitfield, 8 points to 2. I think about a fair result at half-time, Alec.
Well, I think Bradford deserve to be in front, but Rochdale are not out of it yet. They know they've got a chance. They're only one try behind, and I think a team talk at half-time is going to be very important.
And I think Rochdale brought on a little bit of extra pace now in Neil Holding.
Yes, Neil Holding's the man with pace. He's a lad who can break defences. He runs well with the ball, and really, they need men with support. I think the game is wide open this moment in time.
Yes, the gaps are coming, and who knows, I think the tries will be in the second half. Alec could have an effect on the
difference. And here we have a try, which I think that this should have been a try. I think a good kick by Medley, just kicks a little bit too hard here. Look at the chase. This is a good chase from Whitfield, Shelford and Medley, and I think we'll find out that the ball is just travelling that little bit quicker than the three people in pursuit. And again here we have this now. This has got to be the miss of the match. This is a strong lad here. He holds the ball up here. This is obviously something Bradford practice here. He's just holding him down a little bit. It's to play the ball. It's inside. It's a reverse move. It's a ball back inside from Pendlebury and switched out again. Now Shelford here. The ball is a little bit low, but Cardle, good and Steckham.
Well, as you say, good ones take them. I think we've all knocked on in our time, Alec. It was a little low, but Bradford Northern are beginning to find gaps in this Rochdale Hornets defence, especially out wide there in the centres.
Yes, I think they know they can create the gap by drawing the big men, taking them in on the middle and then moving the ball out wide. I'd like to see little Brett Hitty in the game a little bit more. I think he's got a problem with his hamstring. He's not controlling the game. He's throwing long balls out, and really, he's not really watching where he's throwing the balls.
So how do you see Rochdale Hornets getting back in this game?
Well, Rochdale obviously need a very quick try. I think they've got to rely on people like Holding to make the break and penetrate. The quick play the balls, they keep catching Bradford by playing the ball quickly, because Bradford big forwards are slow getting back.
Well, here are the Bradford big forwards. Carl Fairbank having such a good game, that number 12. Back obviously to his Great Britain form. David Hobbs there, just to the right of our screens. Looks very contemplative. A lot of problems on his shoulders.
And again we have here, this is another try which Bradford will be very, very disappointed. This is a lovely backheel ball. David Hobbs, and watch Paul Medley. He'll not believe that, and he's not very happy about it neither.
And the news from the Bradford camp, Alec, you did say that Brett Hitty was struggling. He is staying off for the second half, and substitute Phil Halliwell's coming on.
Well, that was, you could see it in the first half. Really, he's normally a player who likes getting involved. He's obviously been struggling with that hamstring, and really the better with a fit man on the field.
And there is the fit man on the field, just to the left of our screens there. Number 14 walking towards us, jumping up and down, getting himself used to the conditions. Another youngster, Phil Halliwell, coming on for Brett Hitty. That will be a big blow to Bradford Northern, because Hitty and Summers, certainly against Wigan, were the two key men. We understand that Summers, who has two dislocated fingers, will have to put those at one side, so to speak, and go to scrum half. So Hornets in possession, trailing by 8 points to 2 in this first Regal Trophy semi-final. Mike O'Neill. Neil Holding. Sensible kick, forcing Bradford back. And good support work there by the Hornets players. Moving up quickly. Moxon. Good tackle. Very good tackle there by Brian Garrity. Noble again, just look at the gap there. 15, 20 yards from this former Great Britain hooker. Hobbs. No, just rolling dead. But again, David Hobbs there, the kicker, still keeping the pressure on Rochdale Hornets. Blackburn. The Rochdale Hornets pack, I think, not coming really with the speed that's necessary to break down these defences. I
don't think they've really got the pace, really. They're going to have to hope that people like Neil Holden and Galbraith make the break, and, you know, this is what's been happening time and time again. Every time on the second and third tackle, they've been losing the ball.
And there's that man, Furbank, again. Noble. Good ball to Hamer. Having a strong game around the rucks, this John Hamer, taking the ball up well. Summers. Oh, that was a bad pass. Misunderstanding there between Neil Summers and centre Shelford. So, Rochdale, head and ball.
I think Neil Summers, you know, with the ball, he's not doing today what he was doing at Wigan. That's running through the gap.
Galbraith, Holding. Neil Holding moved into the number 14 there, gone into the standoff position. Good run there from substitute Robert Hall. Oh, that's a bad miss. Northern again on the attack now. Furbank again getting through some work to Summers. Now then, will he go for that gap? Good tackle by Holding. Pendlebury. Hamer. Northern now moving closer to this Hornets line. Pendlebury looks for the short pass. He finds it. That's a good ball to Hobbs. He's going to run it. Cordell just hasn't got the strength to get through there. Good cover from Rochdale Hornets, and of course the ball handed over on the sixth tackle.
And I think that's the first time that Bradford have actually played six tackles. Had Rochdale Hornets under a lot of pressure.
Holding. Bradford will know they can't let this half-back Holding get away. He's got plenty of pace. Grogan, good ball. But a good tackle by Cordell. Well, I think that was a very fair tackle by Gerald Cordell. I think he's probably caught the Hornets player in the middle of the back. Or has he gone over on that knee and twisted himself?
I think you'll find out it's not the tackle by Gerald Cordell we need to worry about, but it's the second man arriving, which is the substitute. As Cordell puts him down here, arriving late on the scene.
Yes, he probably, that knee in the middle of the back. But Moxon in possession. Sensibly holding the ball. Rochdale were the 100-to-1 outsiders when the first round was drawn for this trophy. Now in their first semi-final for 17 years.
I think we're finding that Bradford are finding a little bit slow getting back, and there's not many men in position to take the ball. And there's another bad kick by David Hobbs. He's really rushing his kicks.
Yes, but all credit to Hornets. They're moving up very, very quickly. They're forcing Hobbs into these mistakes. The ball, of course, in rugby league must bounce in the field of play. So, Galbraith once again. Head and ball. Good scrum. Can't get away from Summers, but he gets the ball away. Good tackle. Very good tackle there by Darryl Shelford. Cowie. I think Rochdale really, Alec, have got to give this ball some air. They've got to move it about, I think, to test this Northern defence.
Well, I think they're not going to break them down the middle, and obviously I don't think they've got enough pace to do it outside, but they've got to go through the gap, and they've got to support the man when they go through the gap.
Galbraith. Just 7 minutes gone in this second half still. 8 points to 2 for Bradford. That's well taken. Well taken by Helliwell. Throwback getting through a lot of work. Oh, good run by Hobbs now that he's got support. It's Medley again on the side. Can't get the ball away. But Medley now, he's giving the problems. Northern now switching this ball. Good pass. Throwback. Noble. Little misunderstanding there. Hobbs. Good kick. A testing kick. But Caudle offside. Yes, Gerald Caudle must keep 10 yards away from the defender, otherwise he's offside.
I think that is a very debatable ruling at this moment in time. Referees are saying that wingmen can't get there, and I think what they've got to realise is they're the quickest men on the field, and if they practice moves like that, I think they can be onside.
Well, referee Jim Smith said that he wasn't onside. Cowie again then. He lost the ball, but it went backwards. Humphreys. A little life now beginning to come into this Rochdale Hornets pack. Grogan again, good ball. Superb ball. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. Mark Lord had a chance on the outside. Missed the pass. You only get a few of those in a semi-final, and you've got to take them.
And I think we have a chance here again by a lovely break, a beautiful ball from Grogan here, and surely Mark Hall didn't look where he was passing his ball.
And it's Northern now, trying to move up a gear. Moxon. Good run, but a good tackle. Good covering tackle by Whitfield. Shelford. Again, John Pendlebury looking to perform a move. I think far too many players, Alec, are looking to put a move on before they've actually got the ball in their hands. Well,
obviously they're not watching the ball, because we've had a lot of people just putting the ball to ground. But really, you've got to admire Rochdale. They're putting a lot of pressure on the people who are receiving the ball.
And Rochdale just shows the mistakes that Bradford have made there. 11 scrums. Neil Holding now then, can he get Rochdale working? No. Two good defences here, Alec.
Yes, and I think this is what Rochdale have got to do. They've got to move this ball out wider.
Just not quite getting the overlap. To Whitfield again. Moxon taking his time. And no real pressure on him there.
No, I think he's a good young full-back, this Moxon. He lopes, he takes a lot of ground, and really he's a very, very safe full-back.
Bradford twice winners of this trophy, 74-5 and 79-80. And in their 6th semi-final. Rochdale, just one appearance in the final 17 years ago. Now then, Pendlebury. Not the biggest of forwards, John Pendlebury, but a clever one. Hobbs looks for the short ball, doesn't do it. To Shelford, the long one. Hobbs again. No. Too far. Again, having great difficulty, Alec, in judging these kicks, David Hobbs, today.
Well, I think David Hobbs really doesn't know what to do. He's had that much pressure put on him. He's had the long ball for touch. He's put the ball up and under. And really, he's not judging anything to perfection.
Hornets in possession but trailing 8 points to 2, but neither side really confident. One couldn't say, I don't think, Alec, that this game was going one way, could you?
No, Rochdale are just one score behind, and as long as they're in that position, they'll keep on trying. I think Bradford have got to put another try on the board to feel safe.
That's a good tackle. Good tackle by Pendlebury, and Throwback spotting the danger on the outside, but Holding and Grogan trying to work this ball out wider. Good run from Grogan, and a better run there from Darren Abram. Still going, Bob Grogan now then. He's got Merchant with him. Oh, a superb tackle by Moxon. But at last, Rochdale now firing away. A good pass to Whitfield. It needs a long ball. Humphreys cuts inside to Mike O'Neill, but a forward pass. Sad for Rochdale Hornets there, but good decision by Jim Smith, and just showing the fitness of the referees these days. Kept up with play and was on hand there for the forward pass. But Rochdale showed what they can do out wide, Alec.
Yes, and Rochdale showed that they're still in with a chance there. They're just one score behind, and I think that if there'd have been a back there instead of a forward, I think Rochdale could have had a chance of scoring a try.
Throwback. Halliwell. Hamer. Still ploughing down the middle, John Hamer. Bradford Northern, Alec, to me, look content to sit on this 8 points to 2 lead. I think they're quite content just to sit around here in this 25-yard area and let Rochdale make mistakes.
Well, that can be a very, very dangerous thing to do. Rochdale are just one score behind now, and Bradford, all they need to do is just lose concentration for 1 second and it could be fatal.
This number 3, Darren Abram, looking a very powerful lad. I think the problem for Hornets is in the pack. They can't make headway down the middle there, can they?
No, they can't, but they can with a short ball, and really what they've got to do is try just create an opening and put the man through the gap.
Nicely done there by Mike O'Neill to Holding. Always a dangerous player, this former St Helens and Great Britain international, Neil Holding. I think Mr Smith will judge that went backwards, he does.
Just looking at one or two of these Bradford players getting back, they're walking back very, very slowly. They're either very confident or they're very tired.
Well, I think it's just very simple, straightforward, methodical rugby, Alec. So, Northern again on that blind side. But of course, when a side sits on a lead and is quite content just to hang about, things like that happen. Offside.
And again, we have here that from being in control, Bradford, they're now getting a little bit of pressure. Maybe they're getting too complacent, and like I say, that can be very, very dangerous.
Certainly, here's a chance now for Rochdale. Good attacking position here. They want to use this ball well. 6 tackles. Trailing 8 points to 2. Good support now coming off the terraces for Rochdale. But they've lost it.
And I think that's you know, that's what you cannot afford to do. You've got to be able to play 6 tackles when you're in positions like that.
Simpson, centre for Bradford, not managed to evade the tacklers so far. Hobbs. Well, Alec, it's raining, a slight drizzle, but really no excuse for this handling at the moment.
Well, I think what's happening is either side are not really playing too well, but Rochdale have got to just keep control of the ball. They're still in the game, but they're just 6 points behind, and who knows, anything can happen.
Jim Smith wanting the John Hamer to come in straight. That's a good heel against the head, the first one. And it just shows the power of that Bradford pack, the size of it. Throwback. Possibly Bradford's outstanding player here this afternoon. Medley. Been kept very quiet this second half, Paul Medley. Hobbs looking for the drop. Oh yes, and it's there. Well, at last David Hobbs has broken that deadlock with a drop goal. It's his 5th drop goal of the season, and it's well worth it because, of course, it now takes them out beyond the 6 points, 9 points to 2.
And this is a very, very good drop goal by David Hobbs. Good thinking and very important, because that needs to get Rochdale to score 3 times.
So, good play by Hobbs. He might not be au fait with the kick into touch, but certainly an excellent drop goal. His 5th of the season. And opening up now a vital 7-point gap between Northern and Rochdale. And Rochdale now desperate to get possession. 18 minutes gone in this second half. Again, Noble spotting the lack of a marker there at the ruck. And Hobbs not really... Well, I was just going to say not really testing Rochdale this afternoon, Alec, but he certainly did with that one, didn't he?
Well, I think that was a kick by David Hobbs. He's getting control of the game now. He's realising that his team is 7 points in front, and I think Bradford are just about to make a substitution, and that could be important to him also. And they're bringing a big man on, the young lad Richards.
Yes, the big lad Craig Richards, the powerful prop coming off, and Neil Summers, the half-back, going off. So Bradford losing both of the half-backs, and I don't think either of them have been fully fit this afternoon, have they?
No, I think both Summers and Etty have struggled all afternoon, but it's been a very, very hard game, and I think Bradford will just be glad they're getting through it.
Hornets. And again, Hornets, Mike O'Neill giving the ball away, putting Bradford on the attack. Using this short side with Hamer. Good clamping there. Bob Grogan putting his hand around that ball, stopping John Hamer from passing the ball out. Richards first taste of the ball and his last for the moment. Back to Holding. So Rochdale trailing 9 points to 2, and 20 minutes left in this semi-final tie to get back. Tremendous win last week at Castleford, a real shock win. Holding, nice kick and chase. Again, Moxon picks it up well. Very calm, cool customer, this Moxon lad.
Yes, he's playing very, very well, young Moxon. He lopes through the gaps every time he has the ball. He looks as though he wants to make a break.
David Hobbs, good ball to Roger Simpson. Can he get it away? He does. Here's a chance. Darryl Shelford, he's in. No problem. That was a perfect example of support play. Darryl Shelford, his 8th try of the season. But it was support play from Nicholas Simpson when David Hobbs had made the initial probe.
And this is a very, very good try by Bradford Northern here. David Hobbs again breaks the tackle, and this is what they're good at. Once the man is in the open, there's always their support. Young Roger Timpson, good support, keeps the ball alive. It looks as though it's dead, and again Tony Marchants and Darren Shelford, a strong lad. It needed some scoring, and he does it well.
Yes, it did need some scoring from that lad from New Zealand, signed in June for Bradford, and certainly repaying the Odsal club. So 13 points to 2 now. Suddenly Bradford moving away with this tie. But a good example of support play there from the two centres, Simpson, Shelford and wing Tony Marchant. David Hobbs then to kick, just outside the 25-yard line, well to the touchline. 8 yards in. Difficult attempt. Just across the face of the post. So still 13 points to 2 then now for Bradford Northern. And a little consolation on that Bradford bench with Itty and Summers there. We can see him holding his hand. We understand 2 dislocated fingers. Northern to Richards, a candidate for the Great Britain under-21 side that goes to France. And what do you think's going through Alan Agar's mind now, Alec?
Well, they've had a conversation. They're the best of mates, David Hobbs and Alan Agar, and I think he'll be a little bit disappointed that they've not done a little bit better. They've not controlled the ball, and really they've not controlled the game.
Pendlebury. Good kick. Pinpoint accuracy by John Pendlebury. Now playing in the half-back position. Yes, a lot of thought from those Rochdale substitutes. And again, offside. The scrum half there, John Pendlebury. Third scrum half for Bradford this afternoon. We've had Itty, we've had Summers, and now John Pendlebury. A chance now for Rochdale Hornets to come back. Holding to Galbraith. Good ball, and a good run there by Abram. Going for the line, he's got Richards with him. He's looked dangerous all afternoon as this Darren Abram. 12 yards now from the northern line. Bob Grogan, the switch to Holding. Abram again. Humphreys always got men outside him. Whitfield looks for Cowie, the good dummy. Too many Rochdale Hornets men there, almost queuing up for the ball. Back to Galbraith. And Holding again, a good run ball, good tackle. Holding looked to be launching himself through the gap there, but this is better now from Hornets. Mike O'Neill. Good tackle. And the 5th tackle. Possibly the high kick from Grogan. No, the grubber, a bad one. Well, sometimes they come off, Alec, and sometimes they don't. That was once, no, he didn't.
No, I think it was the wrong option from Grogan, but I think that was Rochdale's best attacking spell. They've really not been doing it pretty good, and they moved the ball about well there, but it came to nothing.
Hamer had a good hard-working game, typical prop, driving away, strong runs around the rucks. And the referee stopping play there. A spectator on the field, a little bit too enthusiastic, urging on the Rochdale Hornets players. Whitfield, well recovered by Colin Whitfield. Just 15 minutes left in this semi-final. Hornets battling to get back on terms. Holding. Good ball to Grogan. No, the gap was closed there by Darryl Shelford very, very quickly. Holding again. Good ball again from Grogan. On the outside to Hall. This is better. Now then, he's got Mike O'Neill with him. Abram running very well, this lad, Alec.
Yeah, Shangaran Abrams looks the best attacking Rochdale three-quarter. He's run well with the ball, and with a bit more support, I think a couple of tries could have emerged.
And there's Neil Holding now then. He's one lad with pace. Picked up again by Abram. And the sixth tackle. The ball handed over on the sixth tackle. Got those two half-backs there, Summers and Eaty. Content, but in some pain, I understand. And Northern know that they're not too far away from a final. Sensibly holding the ball. Good run. What a forward pass. Mr. Smith had a very good game, very fit referee, right on the spot.
And again, Paul Madeley, you know, putting the ball to ground, and that's 3 or 4 good chances he's had.
So Rochdale, again, in possession. And it looks, these two lads, Whitfield, one of the few players, I think, really able to break the tackle. But Holding at half-back since his arrival on field, generated some play behind the Rochdale pack.
Well, I think
Holding
he's a little
again.
bit quicker than most half-backs. He's got a good pair of hands, and he sees the opening a little bit quicker.
Galbraith. That's a good pass to Grogan. Looks for the short ball. Humphreys. Again, Colin Whitfield. Good ball to Grogan. Now then, he's got Galbraith outside him. He loses it, but it is another 6 tackles to Holding. No, a knock on. Well, Neil Holding didn't like that decision. Perhaps a harsh decision by Jim Smith. But he stands by it. Rochdale Hornets knocking on.
Well, I think Jim Smith here gave a knock-on that was a very, very close decision. I think as Mike O'Neill goes back and picks the ball up, it just looked to me as though he knocked it back.
And a penalty. A penalty to Rochdale Hornets for feeding. So, just over 10 minutes left. Hornets desperate to get back in the game, trailing 13 points to 2. Really need 6 points here now. And this ball has got to go from one side of the field to the other. Too much delay. Abram again. Whitfield. Good short ball to Cowie. Good tackling. Hornets now edging closer, looking for their first try. That's a good ball to Grogan. Can he get it away? Oh, good ball, good tackle. I thought he was through. Excellent tackle there by Paul Medley. This is good stuff now from Hornets. Whitfield. To Cowie. Grogan again. He's got Galbraith with him. He's still going, he's weaving, he's dodging. Hall, little Holding. This is better now. Mike O'Neill. Humphreys drops the ball. One trick too many. And frustration on Mike O'Neill's face there, as I think he realises a chance gone begging.
Well, again, this is Rochdale's best attacking moments. They moved the ball about very well. They kept the ball alive, but just when it mattered, goes to ground.
But it's Rochdale again coming away with the ball. Certainly done a good job in the scrums. Another heel against the head and against the bigger pack. Holding again now. Moving this on inside, good run by Humphries. Pressure now on Bradford Northern. Have they relaxed a little bit too early? To Mike O'Neill. Back to Holding. Certainly made a big difference since this half-back came on, Neil Holding.
Yes, I think Neil Holding certainly got the game alive. He's moving with the ball. He's always there when there's a gap available, and he's a good eye for an opening.
Grogan to Whitfield. The penalty quickly taken there for lying on to play the ball. 5 more in this sequence now for Rochdale. 8 minutes to go. Dare I say it?
And I think that's the story of the game. Every time Rochdale get near the Bradford line, they put the ball to ground.
And the opportunity goes begging. And just look at the possession that Bradford have had.
And away!
Good run by Helliwell. One of these youngsters emerging now at Bradford Northern. Good recruitment policy. And another one here, Craig Richards. Northern know that in these closing minutes they don't have to do too much. They just got to hold this ball. Then the kick downfield. Medley. That's a good run from Medley. Can't get the ball away. Good clamping of the ball again by Holding there. Good tackle. Pendlebury. Into touch. And a scrum. I think Neil Holding having a word with Jim Smith that did the ball come off his foot? I think it did. Touch judge there. Mr. Blunden just having a word with Jim Smith, signifying that it did come off Holding's foot. And so it's Bradford's head and ball. And a penalty. Tony Humphries coming away from the scrum. You cannot break from the scrum in rugby league. Humphries there coming away. Oh, and a good kick from Hobbs. Very good kick. And the Bradford Northern fans now rallying around, and they realise that the minutes are ticking away. Northern just 6 minutes away from the final. Richards. Northern weathered the storm, weathered the attack there from Hornets. Pendlebury. This position now on this field suits Bradford Northern. David Hobbs, old-fashioned ball player in the full row. Good long ball. Richards. Will we see the drop goal? No, good effort by Tony Marchand, but well taken. Tony Marchand looking to sneak in there under the post, but well taken by Colin Whitfield. Holding. Cowie. Good tackling stint here now from Bradford Northern, keeping them down on this line. Holding again. That's a good ball, but it's not taken, and Bob Grogan's behind. Oh, good play by Darryl Shelford. And Grogan a standoff. Not really got the physique to stand up to Shelford there. So, drop out beneath the post.
This is very, very good play by Darren Shelford. He's a big, tall lad, and he's obviously a very, very strong lad. As he comes in here with Bob Grogan, he's a big lad, but just look what Darren Shelford does to him. Right behind the line, good play.
And that kick puts Bradford back on the attack. Hamer. Richards. Very powerful lad this, only 21. Noble. Good switch play, Pendlebury. And again, Neil Holding really playing well, Alec.
Yeah, since he's come on, he's been involved in all the play.
And Darren Abram at least gives Rochdale Hornets the consolation being the man of the match. Some good probing runs and strong tackles. That's a good run now. Good spirited play from this Rochdale Hornets side. 3 minutes left and certainly not disgraced by any means. Holding to Gogan. Good ball. Another bright spell from Rochdale here now. Whitfield. Abram, a high kick. Just over 2 minutes left now in this semi-final. And Craig Richards just beginning to enjoy himself. Good strong run there, but in touch. Really should have kept away from the touchline, but I think got carried away with himself. He was enjoying himself. He was flicking defenders off. A lot of scrums, Alec, for the modern game. 22 scrums.
Yes, and I think that will tell you how many times the ball has been put to ground. But Rochdale have competed, but Bradford have just been that little bit too strong.
Holding. Rochdale still looking for a score, still trailing 13 points to 2, looking for a try, just the Whitfield penalty goal. Northern looking now to be in that Regal Trophy final here after Christmas at Headingley. Grogan, slight knock. Surely, I think, worth a high kick from Colin Whitfield. No, the grubber. But not a knock on, well recovered from Tony Marchant. Northern's player coach, I think, David Hobbs, can take great credit in guiding his team to the third Regal Trophy final. His directors have splashed out quite a considerable amount of money assembling players from league and union, and it's paying off. Good run there by Simpson. A chance again for Bradford. Medley, the queuing up on the outside to Darryl Shelford. Inside, it's a forward pass. And Medley denied a try yet again. The first one when he knocked on, and now the forward pass. And I think that Gerald Cordwell on the wing was well positioned. Well,
I think Paul Medley will be disappointed here. This is a lovely ball and good play by Northern. Darren Shelford has two options. He's a man outside and one inside, and probably takes the wrong option to Medley.
Yep, certainly the wrong option, but still 13 points to 2. I don't think Bradford will be too worried. Into injury time now. Good run. Abram again, the man of the match. Certainly taking some putting down this centre. Toying with one or two of the Bradford defence, but a good tackle from Tony Marchant. Certainly Bradford Northern being the first semi-final tie. There it is, celebrate their Christmas into the final here on January the 12th here at Headingley, and we'll have to see who they meet. But they've won well, 13 points to 2. A dour game at times, a hard game, but David Hobbs, the player coach, led his side well, and none better than Carl Fairbank. We'll have to see next week's semi-final between Warrington and Widnes at Central Park as to who this Bradford side will meet. But Alec, it was a good, sound, solid performance from Bradford.
Yes, I think Bradford will be very, very pleased with that. They've just done enough to win, and they know they can do a lot better. They know whoever they play in the final, they'll have to do better. Rochdale have